You're listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List on 93 WIBC.
Welcome to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List. My name is Kyle Hawk, and I'm going to be your host today. And here on this show, we're all about providing you with the best tips and advice for all kinds of home, health, and lifestyle topics. And every week, we bring knowledgeable service providers onto our show and get information straight from the experts. In our most recent episode, just last week, we talked all about plumbing with Terry Eiley of LD Smith Plumbing here in Indianapolis. And if you missed anything on that episode, don't worry, it hasn't gone down the drain. You can find all of our past shows on iTunes by downloading our podcast. Just pull up iTunes on your home computer or download the podcast app on your smartphone. Search Chat with the Experts. You can hit subscribe and stay up to date on every single show as we release it. And you can also find our podcast and much, much more at angieslist.com. If you're looking to hire a plumber or almost any other kind of service provider, you can find them on Angie's List and get reviews of companies in your area. The annual membership is now under $10. It's $9.99 for the full year. And if you use the promo code WIBC40, you're going to get an additional 40% off that annual subscription today. There's really no reason not to try it out. Check it out at angieslist.com. Well, today's topic is one that really gets around. We're talking about travel. And while you may have already taken your summer vacation, it's never too soon to start thinking about your next trip. There's also anniversary getaways, honeymoons, spur-of-the-moment road trips, and all kinds of other travel and trips to keep in mind. And getting away can be fun, but booking the trip can be a little bit daunting, and we wouldn't want that to dampen your experience. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to book a trip and put together the trip of your dreams. And joining us today to talk about all this is travel expert Kathy Duvall of Beach Bum Vacations here in Indianapolis. Beach Bum has 25 certified travel concierges servicing clients nationwide when it comes to travel. They customize vacations for each client and book family vacations, destination weddings, honeymoons, corporate travel, and much more. Kathy's an all-around expert when it comes to traveling, and she's visited some pretty incredible places as well. We're going to hear about that today. Kathy, welcome to Chat with the Experts.
Thanks. Appreciate you having us here today.
As I mentioned, you're very well-versed in the travel industry, 2 decades of experience. And you've been to a lot of places. What has been your favorite travel destination that you've been to?
Well, for me personally, as we were talking a moment ago, it would probably be visiting the Normandy beaches on the north side of northern part of France, where I stood on Utah Beach, Omaha Beach, where our boys were invading D-Day so many years ago. We also visited Colville, the cemetery. That was just really, really moving for me personally to know that this was where so many American kids lost their lives.
Yeah, it's an incredible story, and I would imagine, and you've made all kinds of trips now, and this is something I would imagine traveling is not a monotonous job. You get to visit a lot of new places and have a lot of new experiences. I mean,
for
constantly.
Sure. If there's an airplane, I want to be on it, and chances are I have been on it.
Yeah.
And really, everywhere from Mumbai to Maui, I've been there several times, which is why you call an expert. I realize that all the internet has a lot of information, but that is only limited. If somebody talks to me and I've actually walked where they want to go, then I'm happy to provide that help for them.
Well, yeah, that's going to be kind of where we start our conversation today, and we're going to be relying on your expertise as we talk about this. And as you mentioned, we live in this digital age where it's easy to go online, do a Google search, book a hotel, book the whole trip out. But there can be, some difficulty with that as well. And so that's why I guess I want to start off by getting your take of, I think when people think of a travel agent, they think, oh, well, I don't need that. I can just go to the internet.
That's gone the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about some of the benefits of a travel agent as opposed to just an internet search I could do at home.
Well, the internet has affected every single business. There is not one business that has not been affected by the internet. Travel is just one. And oftentimes people go, you're an agent? I didn't think those existed anymore.
Yeah.
In the same way, though, Kyle, that they say everybody's buying everything online, and yet when I drive by a mall, the mall parking lot is jammed. So not everybody is buying everything online.
Sure.
And I've been doing this for 20 years before the internet, while the internet was kind of finding its way into travel, and now that the internet is firmly established, and I have come to the firm conclusion that the internet is the best thing that's ever happened to a good travel agency and to travel in general, and I'll tell you why. The internet has brought travel to everybody. So you got somebody sitting at their desk in February. They look outside their window and there's 2 feet of snow on their ground and they say, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So they go dutifully to the internet. And again, the internet brings the world to them and they are absolutely inundated with just thousands of choices. And what has happened, somebody calls me or emails me, they will say, Kathy, can you help me? And I go, yes, I can help you. This is where I come in because it is overwhelming what they find on the internet. TripAdvisor's great. I'm on there a lot. Angie's List is great. No problem for everybody's thoughts. But when it comes to, okay, making this decision, many times people get analysis paralysis. They see this review, that review. Should I go here? Should I go there? What about train in Europe? Can I get a sleeper car? It is absolutely daunting. And sometimes I'll go to an OTA and I say, people do this? If they would call me, they'd have it done in 5 minutes. I customize the trip for them, and it doesn't cost them any more money than if they spend hours and hours of frustration.
You know, I want to follow up on that point as well, but I also want to ask, have you found that, as you talked about the internet kind of coming into its own and people learning more about how to take advantage of it, do you find that now people are a little more well-versed or informed about travel when they come to you, or is it almost more false information, like this concept that they understand it, but maybe they really don't understand what all goes into booking a trip?
Actually, that's a really good question, and I do think that they are more informed, for sure. And they will, let's say they've got a honeymoon, and they've looked online and they've seen maybe 6 or 8 different places. And then they'll say, okay, help me make this decision. And when someone will call me, email me, or any good travel agent, I will ask them a series of about 6 or 8 questions. Okay, is the beach important to you? Are you pool people? What kind of food?
Right.
Just what's important to you guys and their approximate budget. So no, you're right. They come to me with a few thoughts in mind, and then I can help them clarify it. And they go, thanks. That's what I needed to hear. Let's go with it.
Yeah. You mentioned the cost, and I wanted to come back to that because I know people heard that. Well, wait a minute, it's not going to cost more, because I think in a lot of people's minds they're thinking, well, gosh, why would I pay somebody to book my trip when I can do it myself? Explain a little bit about how that works and maybe some misconceptions people have about the cost of a travel agent.
The way this business works is that there are big wholesalers. Travel Impressions, Exclusive Group Travel. There's just a number of them. GoGo, Apple, been around a long time. These great big wholesalers will have special negotiated rates for their air, for their resort rooms, for their hotel rooms, for whatever it is. So these wholesalers already have lower rates than what we're going to see online.
Right.
And then, now the airfare, that's pretty much what it is. The air is what it is. Mm-hmm. People say, I'm going to go get a great deal on air. Okay, you might be able to save $10 going on some secondary site. Okay, fine. But basically, the air is what it is. Where the real benefit to using wholesalers is when it comes to the resort rooms. Mm-hmm. And that's when we have the lower rate. So therefore, if I use Travel Impressions, let's say, to book your particular trip somewhere, I'm already using the lower rate, which generally is lower than what you're going to see anyplace else. However, there's only one hard and fast rule in this business, Kyle, and that is that there is no hard and fast rule. And so domestic hotels, if somebody doesn't care where they're going to stay around an airport, okay, fine. It's anyone around an airport. A lot of times you can get some really good deals, especially last minute. If you don't really care where you're staying near LaGuardia Airport, fine,
sure,
go for it. When you're talking about the resorts or international travel, rail, safaris, cruises, things like that, then I don't recommend booking those last minute at all. With those, then you can run into some real snags booking those last minute, but the rates are at exactly the same or lower booking with an agent most of the time. If you find something cheaper on an OTA, let me know. We match it anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's really good information, and I want to follow up on that. We're going to take a break here first, but don't fly away. When we come back, we're going to talk more about hiring a travel agent, some of the benefits there, and we're also going to discuss some of the common mistakes that people make when they're booking their trips. Keep it right here. You're listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List.
Introducing the all-new Angie's List app, your on-the-go resource for great local service. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can access ratings and reviews, shop offers, and request scheduling assistance from the palm of your hand. Submit and stay up to date on your projects. Redesigned and easy to use, the new Angie's List app makes getting more from your membership simple and convenient. Anytime, anywhere. Download the free Angie's List app on iTunes today.